Feels like I'm in an operation.
Mary, take one.
I grew up in Poughkeepsie. My dad, actually, he planted the seed. It was just like, oh, let's go visit my friend. He graduated from Columbia, and let's just kind of walk through the campus. But I did fall in love right away.
Fell in love with the city, really. But there was a problem, and the problem was I was already enrolled in Tel Aviv University. So I was going to do that, but I fell in love with New York, and then I found Columbia, and within Columbia, the School of General Studies. It felt right, so this is the place for me.
This was the place for me. I was standing on College Walk that first time 30 years ago. I felt like I was home.
We had some of the smartest individuals I've ever known, and I enjoyed the late night give and take that I developed in the graduate school.
4 of the people that I met my very first week at Columbia Law School have remained 4 of my longest friends in life. One of the reasons I'm involved in Columbia is that I think as you get older, it's a chance to be with other people of different age groups. As my wife and I started the Richmond Fellows program at Columbia Law School, where we give up to 5 3-year scholarships a year, and I've gotten to know the kids, and what it's really created is relationships with the young people, literally from all over the world, that have come to go to Columbia Law School.
It was in March 2020. U.S. did not have any masks. We had alums from the CAA Shanghai group who decided that they had access to masks. They're manufacturing it, right? So we had about 18 clubs join forces, and we had about 300 donors who donated over $2 million US. We all teamed up together and managed to buy the equipment in China, have it shipped over, and put in the dorms of students. And we actually shipped them to doctors who were living in New York City. And they were able to bring this personal protective equipment to about 10 or 11 hospitals in the tri-state area. It was very meaningful. And it showed the power of our alum association.
Being a CA volunteer at that time helped my personally get through COVID, because it gave me a third thing to do while we're all home staring at our laptops besides my home and my job. And that was, very gratifying how we were inventing stuff on the fly. And so the Boston Club and the London Club had these tea times where we'd have conversations, just compared the status of things were in the US versus the UK.
In 2018, my wife and I wanted to start a fellowship for both dental students, and my wife's a social worker, and social work students at Columbia, to encourage students, most of whom had never been involved in research. But I wanted to really show them the excitement and the caring, the involvement, what it means to be a researcher.
We had our GS dinner not long ago. The person sitting next to me who delivered the speech was incarcerated. And just to hear that young man speaking about his experience, about how he got to where he got, kind of the lows of the lows, and from that climbing up and having Columbia play a role, I said, wow, yes, you get your diploma, you get your degree, but we can literally change people's lives by the power of being Columbia and by the power of opening the doors, as GS does, to people who are not seniors in high school, but who've had a different path in life and still want to pursue that excellent education.
Well, first I was shocked.
I was in seventh heaven. I was jumping up and down and yelling and screaming.
I didn't know what it was. That was my first reaction, like, what is this? My second reaction was, why me?
Me? I was really humbled, and still this day is a lot to process, and I'm really still overflown with emotions and with excitement.
And then when I saw who also received the medal, I said, man, I'm pretty good company.
Very honored, very ecstatic, but I was awarded it last year, and then we didn't have commencement, right? So then I got it this year. The silver lining in not getting it last year is that I was able to see my son in the audience, and it's just so heartwarming to be able to sit on stage to receive my Alumni Medalist Award the same time that my son is graduating.
I think it's very important to maintain your relationships and your contacts, not only with the graduates of the school you attended, but I think with the entire university.
Everything that is here at Columbia really is here because of the people who in the past have attended Columbia University. It's the buildings, it's the scholarship funds, it's the endowment. In other words, we all benefit by the people who've come before us.
You would think about your academic life. You have your school years, and then they just end. And if you don't have that structure that enables continuity of involvement and affiliation, then it's just a line in a CV. And what CAA does is it enables those who want to be involved and connected to be involved and connected, but probably as important, to reach out and to remind those who don't that they can and that they should be.